On this episode of Vintage Vanderpump, Katie gets offered more action than she'd seen in months. Sheena gets ganged up on, not in the fun way. Stassi nails a diagnosis of everyone. And there's a pool party.
I'm not really sure what I've done to you, but I'll take a Pinot Grigio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to But I'll Take a Pinot Grigio. This week, or today, I should say, we're talking about Vanderpump Rules, Season 5, Episode 7, The Sociopath Test.
Mm-hmm. Lots of diagnosing going on.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. I am Sunday, pop culture professor, expert on all things pop culture and completely and utterly delusional people on reality shows, which has kind of run the gamut. This episode runs the gamut of delusion.
I am Jeff, the former Bravo noob turned, self-proclaimed expert on delusion for all these folks. Let's just go there.
Yeah.
Ready to dish as always.
Yeah. So to remind, this stretch of episodes are kind of, they're good in that we're getting a lot of character development is being a little generous, but we are seeing a lot of who the characters are in this moment. But it is hard to watch because we are seeing who these people are in the moment. But to remind, Sheena is a bitch to Lala to get in with the unmuzzled bitches. Katie calls it like she sees it. Lala doesn't have a married boyfriend, does have a married boyfriend, but she has a Range Rover. Stassi's birthday trip, in quotes, is starting to kind of take shape to Montauk, in which we know there's going to be a crossover. And Katie bitches out of pride because she's a coward baby.
Yeah.
That's where we left off.
Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of when
this?
they do the previously ons and look at next week, like they're pretty much the same, like the last 4 weeks or so.
Yes, over and over. We could probably just say
here we are
is a bitch about it, and now I could just interchangeably do. But we start out as her, of course, and like the chemistry is building between Lala and Ariana, and my fanfic is popping. Let me just tell you, there's already a slow burn workplace romance happening. I'm here for it. And I'm officially shipping them. Like, that's all I can do is just root for these two. And Katie, Brittany, and Sheena are there rolling silverware, as everyone is wont to do. And she asks about pride. If you want to hear my rant on these lamos, then you can go back to the last one. But
I can't believe they started with Sheena talking about why she wasn't there. I was like, oh, this is a rough start for us. If somebody's gonna...
Yeah, well, it also is a rough start because Brittany is so wishy-washy because like she's sitting there with them and they're like, yeah, we're going to this NASCAR in Sonoma and I guess Lala's going, man, I'm just going to have to deal with that. What beef do you have with Lala? Y'all stop being different people depending on who you're standing in front of. Brittany's nice. She's supposed to be the nice one.
I know. I did think about that, but her intro to Lala was when Lala Jack's stuff was going on,
Yes,
and she's been very forgiving on the Jack side of things, not as much on the other. So like this time, for some reason, it sunk in and I was like, okay, I get why she has some beef with her, but
but she has since seen that Jax was a big fat liar now. She's seen all the episodes. I think.
Right. That's where my butt comes in.
I think she's just doing it because Katie and Stassi are being such rigid assholes about it. I mean, what other reason would she have to be that way? And this is the hard part for me because we are plucking the same tune that we've been plucking since Check's Notes season 1, that these women are just being incessantly and needlessly bitchy to each other about it. And so that's just the running theme, I guess, always. But Sheena, sweet darling, assumes that the reason she didn't get an invite to Ariana's NASCAR party is because she knows that she's already been invited to Stassi's Montauk party. Do you agree with that assertion?
Yeah. I mean, I think that Ariana assumed that's what Sheena's going to be doing. And if left between those two, that is what Sheena would be doing. So
Yeah.
if they got a finite number and you got to whittle it down, then you got to whittle it down and people get left behind. I mean, that is.
It's always nice to be invited though, right? Like you don't, if my best friend creates a birthday party and I don't even get a, hey, Sunday, I know you're going to Sonoma, but do you really, we're going here. So just want to give you a heads up. Not even a thing. They're best friends. Don't forget. If you haven't listened.
I'm not sure that we haven't, there isn't.
Seasons.
I'm not sure there's some off season or off camera, like, hey, Sheena, you need to decide, tell us if you're leaning one way or the other. Because we do have to get this number, because they're very upfront about it. Like, well, if we're doing the NASCAR thing, we can only have this number and you didn't say something. It almost sounds like, and you didn't say something in time. So we're going ahead without you. Because I doubt they're just bringing it up. Other people have done this kind of thing, but I doubt they're just bringing it up like to say, hey, we're doing this and you're not invited,
Maybe you're right, because Sheena's level of disappointment doesn't match what if this was what was true. Do you see what I mean?
She's kind of like, man, if I already said no to this, if I get kicked out of this thing, then Sheena is home alone while there's two separate parties going on either side of the country, and that's not good.
It's looking like that might be the case. Yowza. But then we get the premise of the world's most stupid, idiotic surprise premise. Yeah. Both of these people, they're doing a double surprise party for Carter and for Shay. Both of them know that a surprise party is happening. They just don't know that it's for them. And so Jack said it later, which, I usually don't really quote him about things, but not a surprise party. Not a surprise
was it Jack's or Sandoval? I know one of them. Yeah,
I
was like, it's the same. I was like, because at this point, I was like, I don't know if this is a surprise party. And then later on, he's like, you still haven't, like.
So this also begins sort of the trope about Stassi and her love affair with the goat cheese balls.
Yes.
It becomes kind of a running joke in which, famously Stassi loves the goat cheese balls. But she comes to SUR to ask Brittany's permission to invite Jax to her podcast. So don't think I didn't try to go listen to this freaking episode. However, did you do a Google?
No.
Well, it's been pulled. Following, quote, controversies from 2020. That's all I'm going to say about it. I didn't really want to, we're not going to get into it much, but
see,
it's
that's
not
why
available.
I tried Googling some other stuff from this episode or this season, and like stuff about future episodes was coming up, and I was like, all right, never mind. I'm just going on our own wonderful academic insight that we have and going to be good there. Yeah.
I definitely wanted to hear it. And so as I'm looking for it, the whole Straight Up with Stassi has been pulled from Apple. You could get snippets on Reddit. But
like her whole series?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
There's a new podcast, like post, like the most in like recent 2 or 3 years, I think. But so then I quit looking.
But you think this is probably good, right? She's going to ask permission, going to seek this out, or should she just avoid this completely?
I think it's a fun premise, and it would definitely get a lot of ear holes. But I think the delusion of the reformed bad boy is silly. Is the Reformation in the room with us? I mean, can we see the reformed of it? Because this is a real early call on Jax Taylor to be the reformed bad boyfriend.
Yeah, she's very much like, I know how Jax was, and in a previous life, that's
delusion. It is so wild. She even says at one point, the only thing that my boyfriend and her ex-boyfriend have in common is they're both named Jax Taylor. And I, you know that you love it when they say shit like this, because that just means something terrible is coming down the pipe.
Well, also, that's not the only, it's far from the only similarity.
Well, Brittany says
even in
he's
her
a different
time,
person.
Yeah, sure. And that's wonderful for her.
But the editors, always hard at work, do a handy little montage of all his dirtbaggery, all his, yes, and I did have sexual relations with that woman and she did get pregnant. All of his greatest hits, not even all of them, just a
I was going to say, not all of them. That would have been that's a clip episode right there.
Yeah. And then I said this last episode too, but Brittany's boobs are definitely getting bigger or her shorts are getting tighter. I don't know. We see later when she's wearing the world's most hideous swimsuit that there is
Oh my God.
definitely getting her money's worth there. Another leg of our delusion tour here is when Ariana summons the unmuzzled bitches to the alley at Lisa's behest. This is so dumb.
Let's settle some rumors, ease some tension. No problem at all, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure, that's exactly how things typically go in the alley. That is what it's famous for: is resolving tensions and clearing the air. And Ariana, I don't know if the dress in her confessional is new, the red dress, in which she's like, it's really low cut. She's like dressed for defibrillation. I think it's a new look, but she looks really good. She's really coming into her own. And, she's like, Lisa thinks if we can just sit down and just get everything out in the open. I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, sure.
But I get trying, especially if Lisa says something. We were just saying last week, like, if she's smart, she'll listen to Lisa, do something. It's part of her, like, coming around since last season, like, put my best foot forward, do what the boss is asking of me. I mean, if all this is actually happening. And, honestly, to probably try and get to hear about any of this fake drama less at work probably is worth a conversation for, right. Like, God, please, if I could just hear about this 18 hours a week instead of 45 hours a week, it would be wonderful.
Well, see, that's the rub, though, because they have to hear about it for their job on a reality show.
Right.
But for their job in a restaurant, it does become kind of prohibitive for them to do their jobs. But I also am going to assume that a lot of Katie's grievances come from social media because, like, she's ticking off this list of things
that's what I tried to look up.
Necessarily seen with our own eyes, and so. And a lot of it sounds kind of just like mean-spirited humor. Nothing. I mean, of course, the part about Katie being disgusting and her like summer body, whatever. But like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck your husband when y'all get divorced. Like, that's old. That's funny. Like, to me,
I don't even know. They're all about these teams and everything. Like, what if Katie and Lala like just don't get along? Like, I don't understand why it's this big of a deal. Like, if a server and a hostess don't get along and still work together, that's happening in most places probably right now. But I mean, that's just a thing that happens. So for it to be, it just doesn't have to be so contentious, it seems like. But I know the making good TV and all that, but it does seem.
But I think from a practical producer standpoint, it makes better sense if they can at least film together. At this point, Katie's like, no, Lala, I'm out of chances. I don't even want to be around her. And so that creates like two separate sets, right? Like two separate settings. And it's harder to get them as a cohesive group if Katie's being a bitch about it. But during this scene right here, you keep seeing Sheena look at Katie and like defer to Katie, right? Like,
yes.
Wait, and then Katie says, like, don't blame me. Don't say it to me. Then who, Katie? Who can we blame for this? Who?
And
Sheena's only doing this because you're being a bitch about it.
She's most certainly deferring to her, but she does reach out and apologize. She does throw an apology out there, especially for stuff that's fake. And I think that's like the smallest she could have let herself do, and she did it. And I'm actually happy she did. Happy for her in lots of this episode. And I still don't get where Katie's coming from. I'm not going to stand up this time, but the having integrity thing, that's not what we're here for. We don't need this.
Speaking of delusion.
Everything you've gotten mad at her about, just about, you have done on film, and you are upset with lots of other stuff. Like, pleased with the integrity. Like, we don't need it right here.
Yeah, like, how about you have some integrity? And like, it also, I find Lala's humor to be a little entertaining, where she's like, God, what do you want me to do? Like, finger you? God. And Katie's just like, immediately clutches her pearls and is like, gross.
Lala knows too. Like, don't just stand up to her. Like, throw something sexual in there. It's because it's Katie. Like, she knows that's gonna like push that button a little extra, and she's right.
Listen, if I'm in an active fight with a person and they're like, God, what do I got to do to finger bang you? I'm laughing. I'm already out
I
to
know.
cry. It's like, oh, you got me. You got me. Like, okay.
Yeah, that's squash the beef right there. I also love how it starts building up and then it gets to that, like, you want me to finger you? And I'm like, oh shit, where are we going now? And it's like, we're going to see Lisa quiz Brittany about some of the specials. So it's like, oh,
immediately. And I think that Katie is saying the word integrity when what she means is blind loyalty without any common sense attached to it. Because the way that her and Stassi react to this very bottom basement basic apology is so disproportional. And we'll see that in a minute whenever Stassi joins this fucking crowd. But yeah, Brittany, at least Brittany's getting some action. Oh, I do want to propose that Lala's leather shorts get admitted to like the Vanderpump Rules Hall of Fame because
our reality Hall of Fame we're building. That should be, we got the couch from Sandoval's apartment, and now we need these leather shorts. Absolutely.
Her bad Sandy.
Yeah, I saw like Ariana go back and give her a little pat on the butt, like, it's all right, man. We're gonna get through this. And I was like, oh, Sunday just exploded.
Kiss!
Like, oh no, Sunday's couch is on fire.
We do get a little bit of food shaming from Peter, which I enjoyed. Be like, God, another order of goat cheese ball saucy. God, calm down, fatty. Which I'm adding that paraphrase.
You're adding 95% of what he said. Yes, that's
I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but I mean, like you said last one, I do have to do a double take every time Peter's on screen. I'm like, who?
Yeah, he kind of circled. Not
Peter.
He wasn't a new one this time. He circled back to Ralph Machismo for me. Like, it's Clean Living. Judd Nelson was last week, and this time we've got something different.
Yeah, but like Ralph Machismo in the iteration of Karate Kid that's on Netflix, like from last year, like the 40-something.
The Cobra Kai era. Yeah. He should be in Cobra Kai. Yes. I think Lisa, by the way, the reason I thought that other scene with them is so funny, Lisa is looking at Brittany when she's talking, and I feel like in her head, it's just like, I have no bloody idea what to do with this person. Like, she seems great and nice, and I want to do something with her. And I don't mean this in a negative way. She's like, I want to do something with this girl, but I just don't know.
I know. Doesn't it seem like Lisa talks her into feeling some kind of way? You're like, no, the past is the past. Another day, another dollar. It's fine. She doesn't seem mad about Jax doing the podcast. Lisa is like projecting that on there. And I'm like, is she mad in this moment? Like, it didn't really seem
I think Lisa's saying, like, don't because you're so sweet, don't completely let your guard down. These women are up to some shit sometimes. So, like, be a little guarded,
That, so in that sense, I think that's good advice. I don't think that she has anything to worry about happening between Jax and Stassi anymore. Like, Stassi would rather just chew her own arm off, like Coyote style. Before. But the double cross betrayal is definitely on the table, I think.
I just mean be cautious, and you will see that exemplified where we're going right now.
Yeah. So Katie immediately tattles about Sheena's apology, and it's like they have shucked off any semblance of just decent human behavior. And I don't know if that's because they perceive that it's good TV or they're performing a persona, or if they really have just no moral compass because they have been on the show for so long. But Sheena literally said, hey man, I'm sorry if lies were told. That's it.
That's like I said, it was the smallest apology she could do, but she did it. And it's a giant deal.
And Stassi compares it to Charles Manson and his victims. Now, I get hyperbole for dramatic effect, but come on, lady. Yeah. Like, this is too much. And then she uses all caps, like, I was like, oh, man. Click, click, click,
yeah.
Click, 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 click.
Which she has said before, I'm doing such and such like a psychopath. And then she, this may come up again, but she is saying it.
Um, we pop into Jax's apartment in which they're continuing the conversation about the podcast, and Brittany has a shirt on that says "I love you to Kentucky and back," and I want to have it. I want to
Yeah, that
have it.
company is
Not
awesome. We have a bunch of their stuff.
oh
They're like
really?
your bitter Southerner stuff, except very Kentucky centric. I've got you've seen some of their stuff hanging in our house actually.
Really?
Yeah, they've got
So
some
that's
good.
fun. Well,
Yeah,
shout outs to them next. I thought it was really cute. Now, the vaguely ethnic headband that she's wearing is a different
headband.
story.
What about
Or
the gold choker?
well, I will talk more about her snow leopard bathing suit in a little bit, so I don't want to go too hard
I
on
mean,
this.
she had a thing this thick on her neck. It was. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and this is more about trying to sell us some story that I don't buy. Like, what girl wouldn't be a little jealous? I mean, come on, Jax. And Jax is like, no, you don't have to worry about that. And I have to say it, this is a handsome Jax episode. Not every episode is he handsome, but in this one,
I knew it was coming. I was
he's
prepared for
clean
this.
cut looking. He's not looking sweaty in this scene. He's looking real, hanging curtains and shit like a normal person, not a primordial ooze sliding out of the demon pit. But in a very strange configuration of friendship, Sheena pops over.
Yeah, I like when she's like, yeah, I was a child then, and I'm all grown up now, and she's like, honey, get off the curtains. So like the ones you're trying to hang, you're standing on. I'm like, okay.
I noticed that too.
That
The
was
tone
just
of
funny.
voice, she was like, honey, get off the curtains. Like I talked to Shep, like, shoo away.
Yes, it's very Shep is 4, by the way.
Yes, exactly. So, and then lots of sort of like callbacks to pop culture of a different time here, but he talks about it being the movie Misery. I bet you $10 this man's never seen this movie.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really line up. Like, I think he just thinks he was
He knows the
miserable.
phrase misery, though, and that's,
yes.
I get that. But yeah, we got some Midnight Tequila Katie text coming in via Sheena, which is pretty horrible.
I took some screenshots. She goes full scorched earth, like cut to the white meat.
Yeah.
And that is hard to come back from. You tell a friend, even a casual acquaintance, that I'm disgusted by you and quit being such a pleaser, you lily-livered, yellow-bellied, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It is tough. It's tough.
So did you notice that in Katie's name that's saved on her phone, she had some pink hearts by her name?
I did not.
So as you're reading this horrible text about how repulsive Sheena is for apologizing for something that was untrue, because it's like, oh, I love, like, she went, she has, which 2016 probably was like brand new, and she's like, well, I got to put hearts by Katie's name, love her. And then you're like, you're the worst person on earth, you're just lower than dirt, and I would never do
it. Little incongruence there from the feelings when they entered her name, but also really inconsequential to this conversation. But Shay has quit drinking, so Sheena has just quit drinking around Shay. So
yeah, well,
that's good.
She said she did right away, and I was like, not right away. I mean, we watched last year. Like, we're not.
Yeah. But also, too, as she sips her tequila soda or her Tito's and soda, man, we stopped drinking. Glug, 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 glug.
Today was different, she said. Today was different.
Yeah, because Shay can't see her in this moment. So, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I just always think, and, I've never been in a relationship, an active romantic relationship with a person who's recovery. I feel like going home smelling like booze, smelling like something would be just as bad as partaking in it, right? Like, it just feels like, let's help this man out. He's hanging on by his fingernails, this man. Can we just give him some kind of leg up, Sheena? Could you just stop dragging him down? And every time this man tries to like make some forward progress, but nah.
Well, they may have talked about it too. I'm sure most people, in relationships like that, they kind of discuss, like, do you mind if I come home? Like, do you mind if I'm doing this when I'm out, kind of thing, maybe, if they are. So I'm guessing so.
I hope so, but I don't know. Also, too, Sheena calls it passive aggressive. not passive aggressive.
Nope.
Aggressive.
That's just very aggressive. Yeah.
She said, whatever happened between 6 p.m. when she left her and midnight. And I was like, presumably Stassi Schroeder and a generous dose of tequila is probably what happened between 6 and midnight.
Most likely. Yes.
Also, if I have to hear one more word about this goddamn wedding budget, we get it. You're surprised. Katie's
Wait,
gonna do it anyway.
I'd like for you to finish that sentence. If you hear more about the budget, what? Because I'm pretty sure it's going to come up.
I don't
this
know.
episode.
I am just.
You need to be ready.
There's no new news, and so now I think 50K is the new number, and I just wrote down, dude, Google it.
We're over.
Save us.
We're over 50 in the stuff they've talked about. By the way. They're over 50.
Yes, well, for whatever lies Katie's telling, she's saying, I think that she is reporting at about 30 to 35, I think is what she's reporting to.
We were at 45 on 3 things that we knew of last episode. So.
Yeah, and she does make a good
50
point.
Each?
Like, hey, if you don't like what I'm doing, get out there and find something cheaper. Like, that's a good point. Take something off my plate, find something that you're okay with, but he's never going to do that. You know, he just wants to be a bitch about it.
Well, he kind of has. He's laid out like they'll do cheaper beverage stuff. We can get a taco truck. We can go do this and come have a party. I mean, he has thrown some stuff out there. You think she's going to hear it if he comes to her with a PowerPoint presentation? He could come in there with a Don Draper slideshow carousel and she wouldn't hear that.
That's a little anachronist, sir. They didn't have slideshows. They didn't have PowerPoint with Don Draper, but I think.
Well, I said that after the PowerPoint thing. So
yeah, but what I'm saying is, I think that if he would bring some decisions that are reasonable, like, you know, you're not going to find invitations for 50 cents a piece. That's not reasonable, right? You can't back a fucking taco truck into the middle of the redwood forest after everybody took a plane there, you know. So if he could just maybe be reasonable and find some things, I think that she probably would give a little bit, but he's being so intractable that she's just left to be like, no, you know, like hitting him with a rolled up newspaper. Like, no.
Yeah. I'm not getting his back by any means on this, but I do think he could be like, here's some ideas I have. And I also don't think they would be good ideas. Let me say that.
Right.
But I don't think she would listen to them. But poor Trish, our girl from 100 Acre Wood up there on the phone, just really going through it with him.
No. And Schwartz is like interjecting, like, what? How much? 50. Shh. Let's have this conversation in private. This conversation is costing me $150. Like, chill the fuck out. We do see Kristen, though. This is after her being completely absent last episode. We didn't see hide nor hair of Kristen last episode. And so at least we do have a wellness check. She is alive.
Yeah, we would have heard that.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's what it is. And then I wrote down Sheena is pulling a Schwartz. What do I mean by that?
Because they're talking about how she was one way and now goes the other, just like Schwartz will be one way with her.
Oh, yeah.
And then he will be like, he used to be sweet and now he's this way with her. I mean, it kind of just a waffling situation. Yeah. First off, she needs a drink though.
Yeah, duh.
She's going to need that right away.
Her hand is feeling very empty as her Barbie fist is only made for a cup. But I think Stassi, if it wasn't Stassi, it was one of them who said the phrase, "I'm not going to tell anybody who to be friends with."
Mm-hmm.
What? This is literally what you're doing.
That's what this meeting is for. That's what we're doing right here. Like, because they've got to tell her in person about all the stuff that Lala said and all these texts. One person among the 4 people in this group works with this girl. And this is where I get to, like, why do we need this? Like,
I know that you were so resentful that we still have to see these people who don't work there. But, like, I mean, we don't even, like, the B team is not even showing up anymore. Jeremy the busser with a baby, long forgotten about, you know? So,
I think it's Katie or Stassi that says, like, we did, you know, like, and she wants us to pick a side, like, talking about Ariana, and Ariana never said pick a side. Like, that's all of them. They're the only ones that talk about the sides.
No. And, if this was last season and Jack said this shit about how, though they're reverting back to their old ways, this hive mind, I'd have been like, shut up, you sexist fuck. But he's absolutely right. They are forming some kind of pack mentality in which all of their feminine viciousness is sharpening the more time they spend around each other. And it's just really a really nasty way to present female friendships. And I think, it hasn't really been 10 years is not really that long of that, but this is a really gross way to show up on screen as a woman, as part of a friend group. It's just irresponsible.
And I mean, the worst thing is feeling like you can't have an opinion, I mean, that's what she's telling, like, that's definitely not what friends are there for. And, and Jax knows right away, he's like, you can't have an opinion. You are only there.
Yeah.
And I don't mean just Sheena. Whoever the fourth person is that they want to let in, they are going to be formed into their group in a certain way that they deem fit. Not like, oh, this is my buddy Sheena. She worked over here. And now she's working with us. And this is what we have in common. And we work together. And like, we're not here for that.
Well, Jax can tell the future like Gandhi. So he knows exactly.
I'm gonna let you go with this one.
Because Gandhi he can tell the future, right? Like, wasn't he a magician who sat next to like King Arthur and, did spells and stuff? That's what Gandhi did.
It was funny though. It was funny.
Yeah.
But Sheena's concerned, she doesn't want to ruin the party. There's a big party coming up and she doesn't want to ruin it. So let's hope everybody gets along.
Because historically, when these folks get together in the daytime and just binge drink and do shots all day long, it usually goes so well. So I just wrote to Ariana and Tom's bar, LVP's fed up with this nonsense, and I go straight into the podcast. I guess there wasn't much to say about.
No, they just kind of bring up the debacle that all that was, and Lisa's like, she's really got this carnival look still rocking. Like, this season, I mean, you called her like a Sergeant Pepper thing the other day. Like, it's really, she tried on a suit with like those, army looking tassels down the side and was like, I need 9 of these. Let's go right now.
She was
every shade of pink and red.
Absolutely. This is my look. I love an epaulette. Again, Jax is looking really good. I would like to attribute Brittany's influence for him not walking around looking like a sweaty meatloaf. Because he doesn't. He looks like he's showered. He looks like his shirt might have been pressed. He looks like maybe he had breakfast. He looks glass of OJ or something.
It's also just a calmer demeanor. And I mean this, I'm only talking about this. I am not ready to say Jax in general has changed at all this, but he does, as he comes into Rainbow, like he is having it's not just like, hey, what's going on? It's not every scene is, like every now and then, like he does calm. And the calmer Jax is my favorite Jax. So.
Me too. And I really like their vibe as friends. It's a little mean-spirited. Like, she's a little bit like, backhandedly teasing him.
Yeah.
And he makes a joke about ghost hunting. The vibes are really high until he wants to talk about Sheena, and then it's like a record scratch. And Stassi immediately goes into this hierarchical, mean girl, queen bee shit where she's like, well, she shouldn't have done it. Although Jax is kind of putting words in Sheena's mouth. Sheena never said the phrase mean girls or said they were being mean girls. Jax said that about them. And then he reports to Stassi that Sheena's out here complaining about how mean they're being to him or to her. And that seems a little unfair because that also inflames Stassi. And Sheena didn't really say that.
Why is Jax mentioning this at all? You've called him like messy boots before. This is messy as fuck, my dude. There's no reason for this.
Yes.
I think this is actually not too friendly. I think this is not friendly to Sheena at all. I'm not, I mean, it's not at all. Not like cheating on somebody. I think this is a big, no. And I mean,
it's backstabby.
I do not like it.
For sure. It's definitely backstabby, but
and like they need more fuel for the fire. Like, man, have some heart. Like, give her a day. Give Sheena a day or two to breathe. Like,
and he knows how bad the blowback's going to be too. But
yeah, which is
whoever he's standing in front of is who he entertains. But Stassi says that Sheena is caught. This is how she acts when she's caught. Caught at what? Being a decent human? Like the bar is in hell here for these people. What the fuck is she caught at?
That's it. Yeah. Not falling in love.
So do you want to take a quick break right here and then come back and we talk about the pod a little bit?
Okay. I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay. All right. On a scale of 0 to 10, how offended would you be if I sat down and be like, hey, Jeff, would you like to take a sociopath test? Would you be cool with doing that? Would that feel attacking to you?
Honestly, I half expected it. When you just said when you were going to go for a break just then, I was like, she's going to ask me if I want to take the sociopath test.
Oh, what a fun bit, though. That would have been a fun bit. But of the two of us, I think you are less likely to be the sociopath. Just saying.
I would not be surprised if you had asked me. I will say that. I would not have been surprised.
Yeah. So, and also, too, you kind of really have to admire Jax's, like, willingness to be put down a little bit, too, because she
admire?
Really
I'm gonna get away from the word admire. All
not
right.
admire, but I mean, it's like he knew he was going to get kicked on the teeth during this podcast, and he said yes anyway. But he says some kind of gross things that I didn't love. Like, he talks about most men cheat down, which is not a nice thing to say, especially, I don't know. And
he read that.
Yes, I bet he did on Twitter from Elon Musk or whoever. And then most cheating from men is a result of emotional dissatisfaction or feeling unappreciated. I'm not even going to freaking get into this. Like, men aren't lonely enough, if you ask me.
Right.
But I think that this is true, a true kernel, where he says he wanted to feel like he still got it. Really and truly, he just wants to be adored. Like, he wanted people to, like, be interacting with him in a way that made him feel good and made him feel handsome and stuff. So I believe that's true. This whole business about men cheat because there's emotional dissatisfaction or feeling unappreciated has a real blamey undertone to it. Like, well, if this woman was just better to me, I wouldn't be out here cheating. That's just not a thing.
And if you didn't see women as a conquest and you wanted to just go put notches on your bedpost, then you wouldn't go through them like that. So there's also
exactly. But excuse me, their chemistry really is fun, though. Do you know what I mean? They act like people who really know each other, and there is a comfort at the banter that I really enjoyed. Like, if she was a smart cookie, she'd get this man on this podcast every freaking week and embarrass him.
That's why they're good together. Small doses. You put them together for 15, 20 minutes, they're okay. I don't know if you could even do 15, 20 minutes a week. Like, I think eventually the two of them, they have big personalities. They're both, in their minds, the number one guy in the group. So
that's exactly right.
then there's only room for one number one, as we know, and no way. And I mean, they're also at a bar not drinking, or no, they are drinking, but like they're starting drinking.
Yes, because
you get them together at the end of it past 7:00 at night. I don't know.
Did you hear what this woman ordered?
Vanilla vodka and a Diet Coke.
Oh, that's so gross. That is a horror show, a crime against humanity. Yuck.
Mm-hmm.
Anything vanilla is just grody.
Oh, I'm sorry. To answer your question, yes, I did notice.
Yes. Well, when you reported back, I figured it was. But then we get this very, very famous clip that has been used across the zeitgeist of Stassi kind of like running down the list of diagnoses. Jax is, in fact, a sociopath, as performed by the Cosmo quiz that he just took. Sandoval's a narcissist. Kristen meets most of the criteria for borderline personality disorder. Ariana has a superiority complex. Katie has anger management. Sheena is a hypochondriac. Stassi's an alcoholic. And I really like her self-deprecation right here. I think that's funny. And like,
Well,
I think it's cute.
I like it, but it also let herself off easy. I mean, yeah. Also, I just drink too much.
Sure.
Nothing beyond that, though. It's just the drinking. If I didn't do the drinking, my way of thinking is fine. And I'm definitely not going to just implode by the end of this episode at all. So don't worry about it.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, because I think she could have checked any one of those boxes and,
yeah. I mean,
met the criteria for it.
I mean, I appreciate the joke. I think it's more funny, but it was like, well.
And to what you were saying too, is they kind of slip back into an old pattern where she's kind of mean to him and he's kind of afraid of her. And then he's probably just sitting there with a boner the whole time because, like, remember, that's their kink. And so you can kind of see them start to kind of like get back into this bitchy, nag of a woman and her poor old cucked boyfriend. Like, you see them. So if much more time and more drinks, they probably would have been back to it.
Or fight. I mean, this is definitely fucking or fighting situation.
Yeah, for sure.
as it always was, really. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we go back to Sir. Poor old Sheena.
Lisa and Cheener.
Yeah, and so you could kind of see the push-pull.
Where are the taco chips?
I don't know. If your eyes can't see them, I'm not sure. But I lost my place. Sorry. There's always this like push-pull between Lisa being like the mother hen that she is versus the producer that she feels like she needs to be. And I just don't think that these folks need as much nudging as she perceives they do. Like, they're falling apart on their own.
Yeah, and I mean, I do think it gets to a point, though, like they do have to be in the same room to film. So she does need them to get along to a certain point. So she does need to nudge them together a little bit in that role, because like she even tries to get them to talk right here. And Katie's like, nah, I don't want to do that. Like, very cool. First off, cool move on that. Like, this is your boss times 3, really. Mm-hmm. She's a server. She is her assistant and she works for her on the TV show. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's really kind of ballsy, and like Katie's really thinking a lot of herself, and these are like little ways I think where she is letting that out, like, nah, I don't feel like talking right now. Like, well, we just asked you to, so you're kind of going to have to.
Yeah. But I also think that's a way for her to like punish Sheena. She probably knows how anxious Sheena is about this, and Sheena can't stand for anybody to be mad, and her feeling that tension from her, Sheena feeling that tension from Katie is just like an extra layer of punishment. I think Katie is very calculating in that way, and I think it's like she's on the surface saying, oh no, I can't do this at work, but really and truly she's like, I know this is really going to eat Sheena alive if I don't acknowledge her and I don't make it right with her. But she just is building up. Also, do we need a wellness check on Jiggy? Because Harrison is like the new model. Harrison's
a star, and I wanted to look it up because like the second time she mentioned it really quickly, I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to look that one up right now. I'm just guessing Harrison needed adopting, and now she can put him on the site and be like, hey, he's been on this show, and that increases his.
Maybe Jiggy's just an agent out of being carried around and getting his little brittle bones into a purple tuxedo.
Maybe Jiggy got a gig. All these other people are trying to get a gig. Maybe Jiggy got a movie spot or something.
Jiggy's a
I did like Lisa is like obviously not happy with Katie. And then when she's leaving, like there's something on the screen and she's like, that's wrong, by the way. We have that. Like she had tried to put something in 86 and she's like, we got that. I've done that at work. Like when I'm leaving the conversation upset with someone, but it's not completely over, but you got to get through service. It's like, also that shit on your station's messed up. Like just it's casually.
Speaking of passive aggressive.
Just so you know, yeah, it is. Just so you know, like we're going to talk about this later. That's that kind of way.
Speaking of talking about
also,
later,
your person's shoes don't match. See you later.
You mentioned Sheena's stage mom a couple of episodes ago, and we get a sighting of her mom sort of like helping her do all the things, like setting it up, running all the errands, doing all of the like assistant work here. And I'm like, yeah, Sheena's mom is totally a dance mom, like for sure.
I mentioned it later too. Yeah.
Yeah. And Brittany's everybody's best friend. I'm here to help. What can I do? What am I? Just put me to work. She's everybody's best friend.
You need some planning. You need some decorating. I'm here.
Mm-hmm. But also, a margarita baby pool is a keen idea. I love that. And they put salt around the outside. That is such a good idea. I'm just like, I'm logging that right now for future parties and events. I like it a lot.
It seems wonky. Seems wonky. I like just a big old bowl. Big old bowl always worked. Yeah.
Well, they just got to put a straw in so everybody has their own apparatus, delivery apparatus. Stassi calls them the three wicked witches. So now instead of saying unmuzzled bitches, we're going to say unmuzzled witches. So that's their new couple thruple name is unmuzzled witches. But
okay, Cabal wasn't working still.
No. Normally, I would really sort of applaud any sort of coven of women who get together to use their powers against, dumb men. But this girl on girl crime right here is, I won't reward it. So unmuzzled witches it is.
Yeah, they come to the party just to talk to each other. And then they're kind of, is this what we do? Yeah.
And Stassi's offended by the mean girl comment because they haven't even had a chance to be mean to her yet. I'm sorry. What?
Yeah.
What? But we see that they take that opportunity fairly soon.
Yes, they do. Don't forget the surprise boys now. Don't forget this is all a surprise party for two dudes.
Yeah.
that just happens real quick.
I'm wondering about the logistics of it. So when they walk in and everybody shouts surprise, how do they make sure they know that it's a surprise for both of them? Because when you shout out surprise, Shay just thinks it's exactly. It's very ill planned.
They both know. They're putting it on for the girls, I think, or for the show. They're playing dumb. I'm going to go with those dudes are playing dumb.
And is this the best choice for a newly sober person?
Well, yeah, a surprise party.
With this crowd, we just saw them pour margarita pool.
Yeah, I mean, again, they could probably have talked to him hey, when we do this party for Carter, there's going to be, I'm guessing there's stuff he knows who he's going to party with, whether it's for his own or for Carter. So, I mean,
it's one thing to
I didn't stop going to bars.
That just seems really mean, a mean thing to do to yourself. Especially in the early days. You've been sober a really long time now. And so you're much more practiced in the ways of your sobriety. But this man, this time last year, he disappeared for a month, chomping down pills, as Lisa said. I
was still going to meet Brooke and our friends at the bar a week, 2 weeks into it. I mean, way back before I knew I was going to really stop for a long time.
Did it feel hard? Was it a hard thing to do? Or, you have a fairly cemented resolve, though. I will say this about you. You kind of lock in on something and...
Yeah. And I had quit drinking for a certain amount of time before, a month off here, a month off there. But yeah, this felt different. Yeah, I don't know. It was... you still need your friends. You still need to talk to people. You still need the fellowship of it all. So, you can't just, because if you're drinking a lot, this is a different podcast. Maybe we don't need to, but you can stick, because it's easy to stick to yourself and stay in your house and watch TV because I'm safe if I sit on this couch and I watch TV and I eat this and I go to bed. That's it. Eventually, the real world does need to creep back in. So you've got to go back out there. I'm not saying stay up till 4 a.m. with everybody. And you find your own limits. I would be out at a dinner party for a birthday, and everybody's drinking. Hey, we're going to the bar afterwards. You know what? I've been around people drinking for 2 or 3 hours already, and I'm good. I'm good there.
Yeah.
And, at a concert, I don't want to be next to somebody hammered if I can avoid it. I will get away from it. There's some limitations.
And to that point, if Shay is going to participate in this world, there's just no way he's going to not be around it, I guess. But just making it a surprise party for him, it just feels like Sheena's kind of clueless about it. She's like, oh, this sounds fun for something for me. I want to do this. I want to have a surprise party, but fuck him and what he's going through. That's kind of how I read it a little bit. But now that you say that, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. And we get one little conversation with Shay after this, but yeah, dudes the party is for, that's kind of
He's
it.
looking good. He's
He
like kind of
is.
clean shaven. He's like kind of trim. He's looking
slimmed
really,
up.
really good. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
said.
he's like really talking also. He's not just hiding in the corner like he did sometimes. So going good,
Yeah.
going well for
So
him.
maybe, sobriety is doing well for him. The party looks pretty fun. Everybody's just ripping shots and they're on the floats. Jax has got toes in his mouth. So he's on, he's had a few drinks. He is on one. And
Yeah,
then
Kristen's at a
I
party
wrote,
she got invited to. That's good. We don't see
yeah.
that
And
often. I always like to mark that.
I wrote, the clown college tries to queer eye for the straight guy Schwartz. And now I can't remember what was happening that I wrote that.
I don't. I said that the clown college. I noted when the clown college was clowning on the ladies because they were getting into that whole like how it used to be kind of conversation.
Oh yeah. So right before that, they must have been telling Schwartz he needs to do something like look better or act better or something. I don't remember because I just wrote they're trying to queer eye for the straight guy him.
Shay and Schwartz have a little bit of like the marriage and money conversation. Was that it? I don't know.
I don't know, but Jax, has had a few drinks, and so now he knows everything about everything. The number one guy in the group is starting to espouse all of this, how this hive mind talk, that it's 3-on-1 mentality. He's not wrong. And concurrently, while he's out here talking to these bros about the bitchy women's attitudes, we see Sheena just like a turkey leg thrown to a freaking alligator get decimated by these 3 women. And it is, it's terrible. As Schwartz says, it's like the mafia, right? When you're in with the mafia, you get all the perks. But when you're not, it is a dangerous place to be. And then he does a real dumb Marlon Brando Godfather.
Yeah. Yeah, it starts with Kristen. Like, Kristen does what someone else will do later. Like, she starts with a question to Sheena, and before she can say anything, she has talking over her. She is yelling at her. In the confession, we see her, like, saying that it's playing mom to her. Quite a start for your friend. This is also Kristen is talking to what she calls her friend. That's her friend.
Sheena is trying to say, I agree with you. I am of the same opinion. Please stop getting my jugular. Please, I am bleeding out. Take your fangs out of my neck. And Kristen will not relent. Like, she's just going. And I was like, yeah, you play mom. Yeah, if your mom was the only mom in the trailer park that smoked Marlboro Light 100s and walked around barefoot and drank Chablis straight out of the box. Like, whose mom are you? Like, you're being a straight trash bag. And, it's hard to watch. And, I'm no Sheena apologist. I'm not. But you can start to see Sheena's whole body language start to change. Those arms get crossed.
Yeah.
And that hip gets cocked. And she is just receiving. And she starts to think, oh shit, my trip situation is really being threatened. Like, I can't, how am I going to go to Montauk with these people if this is what's happening? And Ariana's like, listen, I'm so sorry, but you can't go to Sonoma with us. You could just see panic start to spread. Like sometimes when my
what
neck
have
gets
I
red,
done?
Yes, she just starts to be like, oh God, where am I?
Yeah, and I mean, the only thing, like, we see the Shay and Schwartz money talk, which is kind of dumb, but we get where they're coming from.
It gets bitches be tripping vibe. That's what I hear when these two start.
Yeah.
Bitches be tripping.
And you almost get a point when, this is a down payment on a house we could be doing. You're like, dude, I hear you on that. And he's like, that's 5 jet skis. And you're like, all right, well, that was more.
You lost me with the jet skis, dummy.
No, I'm with you. That is that many jet skis. But, dude, stay on track. Like you were saying, maybe if he came to her with a solid point, if he came to Katie and was like, this is a quarter of a house we could be putting down on right now. And
leave the jet ski talk. For the clown
get
college,
that later. Get that later. Yeah, but mention something. And Stassi and Brittany have their pod talk.
I just said when Brittany said that she doesn't know what a sociopath is, I was like, good girl, stay ignorant. That is going to be your saving grace. Just stay dumb. because he's going to show her, don't worry. Like, he will absolutely demonstrate what a sociopath is. But in these early days, when she reads that definition, that it doesn't sound dangerous or insidious at all, I'm like, good. Okay. You stay in that place because you're already committed to this man. So best tactic you can take here.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like the worst person in the world. Like, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
And so then Stassi and Sheena started to have this conversation, and Stassi is way too drunk to be having this conversation. Her emotions are bubbling up in ways that seem really, really strange and out of place. And it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch. You know,
so she is. No,
like the video. Well, have you ever seen the videos where like dogs accidentally drink wine and get like kind of like buzzy, and it's like you feel it's kind of funny, but it's kind of sad because you're like worried about their well-being. That's what I'm looking at with Stassi. She is hammered.
Well, it took me. I was like, where did this come from? And it was kind of like, you know, as I was walking around having seen this episode, and I was like, even for her, this really came out of nowhere. Like, and then when I watched it again and really watched her face and like put her shoulder towards Sheena at that table, like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, she's hammered. Like, okay, this is not an excuse thing. Not like none of me was like, damn, she was a little tipsy when she said that and went hard. I guess, you know, let me give her some leeway. Like, no, I mean, I was more like, dude, you know what you're doing over here. But she goes in, does the same thing Kristen did, which is start asking Sheena for her side of things. And then immediately, obviously, does not give two shits what that is and doesn't disagree, but just talks over her, screams at her. And as Ariana will say, it gets heightened real quick. Hey, Carla.
Yes, because they want Sheena to obey and comply. That is what they want to happen. They don't want to have a conversation. They feel usurped if she gets out of line in any way. And so the very worst thing Sheena could do would be like, Ariana, come over here. Come over here. No, that just really escalated it to Ariana is also a little bit in the cup. Not like Stassi. And I wonder if Sheena is sober during this party too because of Shay, because she seems like the only one who is kind of, she's not winning these arguments because there's no winning it, but like she is a little bit more self-possessed than everybody else.
She seems pretty together, yeah.
Yeah. And
I think Ariana, the three were hammered when they showed up. This was not, we hit the margarita pool real hard real quick. Like, yeah.
And then something about like Lala hasn't done. Oh, Stassi says something about all the terrible shit that Lala's done. She hasn't done terrible shit. She said some mean things on Twitter.
Stassi is going, this is Beachfront season 1 freaking out. I mean, she is at a fucking 13.
Yes, you're right.
And she's like, do you not? I mean, she is shaking. She eventually does what Stassi always does. And it's like, well, I'm just leaving then. And it's over because she is seeing, God forbid, 2 people talking to her and disagreeing with her at the same time, as opposed to when she's with 2 people who are agreeing with her and spitting, you know, vitriol at someone else that they disagree with. She gets ganged up on, she says. And so she resorts to the basement bathroom in tears. Yeah.
I was tempted to enact a blackout, makeout, storm out, but they would have all been Stassi because she's black out. Like the hangover this woman is about to have is going to be rough, I think.
Yeah, she's blacked out, she stormed out, and she made out with the toilet. And that's all 3. Right
she is just like arms on it, just really, really. But just the heightened drama of it all, like the hyperbolic hyperventilating, and I just don't want to be friends with them. And you know, she said this was so funny to me. She's like, I think you got Ariana getting out of the pool like some fucking mermaid.
Yeah,
it's like, ooh, burn. Do it.
Oh, I thought she was more like her, you know, like she was backed into a corner because Ariana was like looking great also, and she didn't care for that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is.
Like, are you trying to be mean by calling somebody a mermaid? No, ma'am.
No, I think she was like, and to top it all off, she looked gorgeous coming over here to tell me off, because I do think part of Stassi knows she is wrong and is overreacting. And I think that's part of
Yes.
what is driving her so mad. And I would like to go back to Stassi and say, when you were diagnosing everyone earlier, what are you going to go with right now for yourself? Just drinking too much, or what do we
Ooh, ask
call?
me what I think.
I will. What do you call this? Unreasonable and hysterical Stassi.
Histrionic personality disorder is what.
Okay. There we go. I like
and
it.
it is, yes, it's where a person like feeds on being like the center of attention energy because of whatever deeply rooted insecurity or maybe abandonment, and that everything is the worst possible thing that could happen, and that's always happening to you, and it's always like the world is always happening to you, and you're just like a victim of all this. If the world would just stop being like this to you, if y'all could just stop being like this to me. And yeah, so Stassi is
as your assistant. I concur. That's yes. As your pop culture diagnosis assistant, I do concur, because all three are down there now, and like Katie and Kristen are being horrible.
Standing there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, this is what is so frustrating, I bet, for Scheana. I mean, many, many, many things. But for once, Scheana is on the right side of valor here. She's on the right side of this argument. But it's 3 against 1. They are all blotto, talking nonsense about mermaids and terrible people. And it's not about Lala. And Sheena's like, she's just like catching all of these strays.
Then what is it?
Lala.
It's like,
yeah, what is it about?
It's like, you're such a bitch and such an asshole. Like,
yes.
What? And you don't care about Katie's feelings. Like,
and
all right, man.
Katie,
that's when she does like, okay, you have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. I'm out of here.
Katie mocks her for being the bigger person. Ma'am, yes. If you are teasing someone and mad at someone for being the bigger person, you are not on the right side of that. That's not what you're doing here.
Also, why did Stassi and Katie stop being friends? Because Katie was being the bigger person in that situation. So once again, Katie's upset with somebody for doing what she did in the past.
Yeah.
And also they're upset with Lala because of Sheena's mouth.
I wrote that. I said, huh?
What? Where are we? And I'm glad then that's when Sheena's walking upstairs. Like, yes. All right, man. If she had a cigarette, just like flicks that in the distance.
Yeah, like on Heather's with Veronica at the end. Katie, I wrote, she's the most unhappy, the most unhinged, and the most dysregulated person on this fucking show. And you said something our last podcast that I have not been able to unsee when I watch her and Schwartz about how miserable he goes out of his way to make her, how she doesn't have the wherewithal to process it and be like, oh my God, I need to break up with this man. And so she's internalizing all this unhappiness. She's internalizing all this frustration, and it is making her miserable. It's literally like drinking the poison thinking it's going to hurt somebody else. Like, she is poisoning herself with all of this resentment and all of this discontent, and it comes out of her pores all over Scheana. Scheana hasn't done anything. Like, Scheana is the most innocuous person in these set of episodes, and she won't always be that way. She is kind of nasty about Lala, but in this instance, like, she is really catching the fucking smoke, and I feel bad for her.
I do too. I mean, hasn't been always amazing, but yeah, here recently, and also, it's not even just, I've got to get Sheena's back. Like, you three, what are we really upset? You know, like, I've been going back since season 1 with Jax or some of these guys, like, hey bud, I can be with you. Just tell me what we're going for here. You tell me what the actual play is that we have here, and I'm going to try and be with you. But like, I got nothing.
And, you know, Ariana is kind of one of my favorite kind of drunk people, where when Scheana goes to Ariana to like get this consolation, Ariana's like the human emoji, shrug emoji. Like,
you're just going to be right. Like, you're not going to rile me up. You're not going to get me down. I'm just going to be right here because
bummer, man.
Well, Stassi's so freaked out and heightened, as Ariana calls it. Why is there a need to act out? This person's doing it all. Yeah. She's going to get worn out doing it. I'm just going to maintain, and you're going to, and eventually I can get back to being in the pool where I want to be at this pool party.
Yes. And
Because no one else
Ariana is
comes
like,
downstairs. Like,
no, they're not they don't want that fucking smoke. Absolutely not.
everyone,
And
I bet that sliding glass door went behind those four when they went downstairs, and like everyone cracked a new beer. Shay had a Dr. Pepper,
yeah,
and I
the
mean, it
music, they
was
turn the
just
music up there.
Shay's doing the Dr. Pepper beer bong and just having a great time.
And I wrote too, I don't know if Sheena said this or if this was my impression about like, this is why Sheena believes that she's better than them because they act like this. And Jeff, do you believe that these people stand 10 toes down on this behavior? Or do you think that this is something that they drunkenly committed to and that they just have to ride it out because they look dumb if they walk it back? Like,
Oh
surely-
no, this has been going on too long for them not to actually feel this way. I wouldn't be upset with these women as much if I didn't think that like Kristen, the way she says certain things a lot of times, didn't actually think that, then I wouldn't not like her, honestly, as much as I do on this show, you know, or at least her character. Like, I mean, this isn't like what season 5, there's a lot of heightened, especially for Katie, but none of it's brand new. I mean, they are always talking about these three that are resorting to how they used to be. So you can only act a certain way for so long. Even if they started acting like that in 2011, by 2016, it's solidified. You're in there.
Isn't it interesting too, though, that like whatever coat of dysfunction or coat of mean behavior one of them is wearing, like they'll take it off and they're just passing it around because Katie is wearing this coat of idiocy and mean girl behavior that Stassi was wearing 2 seasons ago. And Kristen was wearing it for a while. And then like for a while, Sheena was wearing the coat of, you know, Target, and then Lala got it, and now it's back to Sheena. It's just like they're sort of trading in and out being the worst possible versions of women on TV. And I do not perceive that it's going to get any better.
No,
the more fame they get,
all the stuff we keep describing is just hive mind, and, you know, like it is that.
One by one, they're going to start to move out of SUR. They're going to, you know, like, you know, it's going to be less and less and less of them in that particular establishment. And I think that is going to exacerbate the worst behaviors in these people because then we're going to be watching a show about celebrities, not a show about, you know, waiters,
which we're halfway there at least now.
Yeah.
I mean, this season really made the jump to we're just watching people paid to be on television.
Yeah. But it ends there with, you know, Ariana being like, listen, man, I just want to enjoy my beer. Just chill the fuck out, everybody. And then, so next week, Sheena is conflicted about the trip. I bet you are, girl. Like, what the F are you going to do? Somebody is exhibiting the opposite of that bridesmaid behavior, whatever the fuck that means. And another surgery for Jax? He's getting a 4th nose?
I'm not going to put it past him. I mean, I'm going to expect this at least once a season. So, yeah.
And Lala hyped for the trip despite Jax. We'll see how that plays out. I really hope Brittany earns her Kentucky Muffin moniker. And then also James grovels for his job back. And the over-under on whether or not Lisa is going to give it to him is really in his favor in this way, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Because he's alive. That's it. That's all he had to be. Really, she's taking him back.
He just exists, and she's like, high five, high five, high five. I didn't really have a lot of Because the Past. Did you have?
I had nothing. I didn't have anything. Yeah.
Well, we already talked about that too. I had Straight Up with Stassi. I just wrote R.I.P. because that's long gone. And Vanilla Vodka. There was a moment where people were drinking.
But it wasn't 2016. It was before. I mean, like because people all of a sudden had like shelves full of birthday cake and vanilla and every type of flavor vodka,
Crown Royal green apple and shit like that.
Okay, but, that's gross. It's very early. Don't say that.
Yeah. Who is your chump?
The girl on girl action, and as you say, not in a fun way. It is headache giving. I mean, it's rough. And I mean, I don't say it because it's the girls. It's just 3 people acting this way. And the 3 and the teaming up and the you don't seem to have 3 individual takes on this, and only one of you 3 works with this person, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And the unwillingness to like even go, I see where you're coming from. You know, like you're not given an inch on this at all. So yeah, I don't need that. And if I'm calling your entire group out when Clown College is 2 feet to your left, pay
When
attention.
Clown College exists. Because
Clown College is at this party, and I'm saying you 3 are the worst actors at this party. Time to change your ways, possibly.
Jax actively has Brittany's feet in his mouth.
Correct.
Beside the pool. And,
Tom is complaining about his wife and future wife and how much she's spending.
Bitches be tripping.
Sandoval is being weird about something, I'm sure. I'm just going to say something. Yeah, he's saying.
I mean, sure. I also had the Unmuzzled Witches, but I had a runner-up too. And I nominated this as the chump, not in the like a bad behavior, but as a you're real dumb and you got clowned. The owner of that Airbnb that rented that house to them.
Yes.
You got clowned. That house is demolished. Like Stassi's vomit is on the side of that toilet.
Do a Google on those last names next time.
Yeah,
better.
Exactly. Like you should have known. And so who's your LVP?
First, I just had the producers for giving us a James-free episode. I really appreciated that until the very end. Scenes from next week. 0 James. So, thanks, guys. Appreciate the break. But I ended up, of course, I've got to give it to Sheena Shea. Absolutely. Hands down.
Yeah.
Just as easy as giving it to Lisa for being on the Pride float last weekend, for turning your back on those 3, walking up the stairs, walking out and saying, I don't need it. I hope you keep that mindset going for a little while because you don't. And yeah.
I had Ariana for being just the most neutral thing. I don't have any beef with her. I'm not rooting for her in any way. I'm not really mad at anything she did. She's just like, you know what? I'm going to just be here. I'm going to do what Lisa told me when it didn't work out. You know what? I don't have any stakes in it. Fine. Blah, blah, blah. Come with me to NASCAR. Except for you, Sheena, because you don't have a ticket.
This is one of my... Again, I'll say, like, she found some way to, like, bide her time better on this show. You know, like, all right, I'm going to be in it for 1 to 10 years. Let me just see what I can do and hope it works out best. I'll get the side hustles going and...
And, you know, like I said, I attribute her antidepressant, anti-anxiety cocktail, but also, too, I think Ariana has enough self-reflection to maybe internalize some of the feedback that she got from last season and is really sort of like, you know what, that really wasn't who I am. This is who I am. The runner-up, however.
The grumpy cat?
Yes, grumpy cat. The runner-up for LVP is that margarita pool. I want it. I want a margarita pool.
I mean, you've seen, I can't believe you're right. You've seen giant buckets of drinks made with tons of straws in them.
But it's like clever to put in a little pool,
put
salt around the edge.
Cindy, come back to the spring breaks of our youth in Panama City Beach in 1990. I mean, earlier, before. Let's not get into what year it was. You remember bucket drinks?
Yes,
and like,
but it's
you've been
clever.
to places with big old...
It's like a little blow-up pool, and I don't know. I just found it to be charming.
You've seen this. Yeah, I get it. Okay, it is exciting. I'm not saying a giant mixed drink isn't exciting by any means.
Yeah. Speaking of exciting, I am kind of hype to talk. We talked about the mini crossover, the mega mini crossover, just about Summer House, like the first episode, but we haven't quite got to the Vanderpump Rules side of the Summer House. And so there's 2 episodes in a row. I think they're going to be next week. And we are going to really see our dummies interact with the new summer dummies in a much more meaningful way, because the Summer House, the season 1, episode 1 of Summer House is very brief. And it does feel like we kind of got dropped in with something else, other stuff going on. So the context of our Vanderpump is going to be really, really fun to watch. So you guys come along with this journey on us as we watch a Summer House be birthed into the Bravo world. And hopefully this will get Emily back on board. She's very close to breaking up with Bravo, she says. So there's a lot riding on this mega mini crossover situation, Jeff.
I get that, Emily. I totally get it.
How dare you? I've already fired her twice for saying such blasphemy.
You're as good at firing people as Lisa is, first
I
off.
am. What
If
would I do
you've
without
fired
y'all?
Emilie twice, because I haven't heard her miss a week. So, yeah.
I know. I mean, what would I even do, though? I'd just be sitting here just like chatting out loud. But definitely find us on socials.
Excuse me.
That's what I'm saying. With both, if I fired both of y'all, what would I be doing? At Take a Pinot Pod on Instagram, on TikTok. I'm really slacking on my YouTube duties. There's really, I mean, the podcast gets uploaded there, but I just forget about YouTube. So sorry to our YouTube subscribers. But I really liked reading the comments from some of our users and some of our listeners. So you guys go and leave us a review. Tell us what you like and what you don't like. You can send an email to Jeff. But
I'm looking forward to getting some email also. That's jeff@pinotpod.com.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Jeff
everybody.
loves it. So send it on to him. And I have it in the show notes too. So, but all right, until I see you again and we're talking about Summer House, Jeff.
Thanks, everybody.
Steadily